Hey everybody, it's Kathy and ER. We are going to talk today about linking cards together. We did a small example last week, and I think we've talked about it a couple times. So we wanted to show you guys how to do it in case you're not sure what we're talking about. And we'll even put a campaign in between. We'll sandwich a campaign in between so you can see the difference. So I went ahead and set up the Doug demo account. Hopefully we can make that happen and make it look right. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We'll get the how-tos done, and then we'll switch over to open Q&A and that kind of good stuff. So ER, I'm going to make you a co-host just in case anybody jumps in and I don't see.
Yep.
And share my screen and get this going. So what I've been doing, just so you guys know too, so far all the Tech Tuesdays are in the Digital Card Pro YouTube channel. We're trying to get them moved over to the LFI channel or shared there as well. But all of these are in the in my channel, and I put them by date and then by topic, so you can easily go through and see. Yes. See more information. Okay, so like I said, we're going to talk about how to link digital cards together or pages together to become kind of like ER said last week, kind of like a mini funnel. Or what else would you use these for, ER? How would you use these?
Yeah, I think it depends on what your end goal is. And I know we've talked about that every time we go to create cards, where it's like, who's going to be your audience? What are you wanting them to do? Like, what is the end goal? How are they going to interact with it, etc. I remember, and Kathy, maybe before you share your screen, we did last Tuesday draw a quick diagram. I just want to come up big, a little bit bigger for everybody. Yeah. And that diagram is right over there. If you can see it okay, it's, you either have the option, if you will, of just one card, and you can scroll all the way down that card, or, that card could be broken out to 3 bytes of information if you want to keep the message specific, the right information to the right person at the right time. Alternatively, what we're talking about is, what if you wanted people who wanted more information to get to those cards and go back and forth? So again, this could be part of what I would call like choose your own adventure sales funnel, etc. Of how you want it to flow. So there's a time where I'm going to put somebody into one. Maybe it's my primary card. And the example we went through last Tuesday was, Kathy, you brought up your card. You had your primary card. We were talking about campaigns. At the bottom of your card was a connect with me button. And then that launched a secondary card. So, if we're talking about it in terms of this was Kathy's primary card. This was her secondary card, which was the campaign to capture leads of people who wanted to connect with her. But it could very well be anytime you want to have, I'm going to lead with this, but if you need more information, you could go here or go here, or, go to my website to order. So I think at the end of the day, it really boils down to what you're trying to accomplish with the material that you're putting together, and what role that plays in the audience that you're sharing it to. But at the end of the day, you have to have 2 cards at least to link together. And I think the other thing we talked about on Tuesday that is powerful, it's not required, right? Like, I could grab just the regular link for a card and use it on the button. But if I want to have some tracking, I should really put the campaign links for those connection cards on there. So I'm assuming that's what we're going to take a look at today.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm matter of fact, now that you say that, so we'll do like here's what we're going to make, and then we'll talk about how we're going to make it, right? So this is just an example. I happen to have this pinned. It's in the account, my digital card that I have that goes to kathyinman.com. So it's just a redirect on GoDaddy, but it's this particular card to basically, here's the front card, right? So this is one digital card. And what I've done is, like the ER's point is, like, now you can choose your own adventure. You've learned what I do. I do shuffle, I do networking, I do a nonprofit. What do you want to know about me, right? Yep. So you can choose any of the links, or you can say, let's connect. If you say, let's connect, it's going to take you to a second digital card that I have a lead capture sandwiched in between. So we'll talk about just card to card, and then we'll talk about how to sandwich that lead capture.
And
in
Kathy,
detail.
if you go back to your original card that you had, one of the big things I like to think about is I look at that URL in the address bar that Kathy has that's pointing to the card here. And you can see that there's a little bit of extra information. This tells me that this is part of a campaign. So Kathy can track to everybody who comes to kathyinman.com and it gets redirected to this card. Additionally, and I noticed it on your Let's Connect, Kathy. I don't know if you can just mouse over that button or if you actually have to physically click on it. But if you scroll down on your card itself, where the big bar is on the previous card we were just on, just to where it says Let's Connect, you can see in the bottom left-hand corner that there's the link to that button. And again, it's pointing to another app.lfi.com card that has a campaign link on it. And I think that's the critical component, right? If we're going to mirror what Kathy's showing us here for ourselves, right? Maybe you have your business card and you want to link it to a campaign with the lead capture form. That would be the first step. You know, the more complex is creating a whole microsite. But you need two cards, right? You have your primary card that Kathy is showing on screen right now, and then you have that secondary card, which is the campaign that she's moused over for Let's Connect. So in order to accomplish this, at a minimum, Kathy has to build both of those cards. So your first step is make sure you built both of those cards. And then your second step is going to be, let's generate the right links so that we can go back and edit the cards we built and put in the right links on the button. So it is a multi-step process to build it. But once you understand the mechanisms and the components, it's not hard. You know?
And that's the thing, right? Each one of these could be a shuffle card. Instead, I've directed this to a website. This goes to a website. This goes to a website. This goes to a website. But if I didn't have a website on something, right? Or if I just wanted to share my nonprofit business card that I have made, I could have chose to link that. And again, that's another card. So basically, to ER's point, right? So we come back over here to our account or Doug's account. Whatever you have here, if you have different cards that all could tell a story together, then again, do you want to track the opens? That's the first question to ask yourself. And do you want to link any of them together? I know Brittany has a networking event coming up tomorrow, and she's like, hey, I really want one of those Let's Connect buttons. I know, like, there was another woman I helped this week who's new to Shuffle, and he was putting an advertisement in a magazine, and he wanted a QR code. And I was like, well, here's how to make your QR code. Now the question is, do you want to track it? And he was like, well, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, wouldn't you like to know how many times someone clicks on your QR code out of this advertisement in this little magazine, so you know whether or not you want to do this advertisement again, right?
I think that's really powerful to understand. Yeah, tracking. I know, Kathy, you and I are so big on it. And especially in areas where you might be spending time and money, tracking is very important, right? We only have a finite amount of resources, whether it's time or money to spend. And we really want to get the most bang for our buck or the most benefit for our time spent. So if you're going to be posting this somewhere, do it in a way that you can measure it. So you know, oh, I bought 3 ads and 90% of my leads came out of ad A, you know, the other 10% came out of ad B and nothing came out of ad C. When the advertiser calls me up to renew my ad on ad C, probably not going to renew that. When advertiser A calls me up, I might throw additional money into that because I know it's generating me more leads. So this is just another reason on why you really want to do this in a trackable way.
Absolutely. So, and to your point, give them choices. So here, I don't have one of the online, you know, like the Calendly or whatever. I'm not that. I'm tech, but I'm not tech. I like things on paper. So maybe here I give you a choice. Like, hey, do you want me to contact you? Fill out this capture form. Do you want to do you want to just book with me? Here's my online booking tool. You pick which one's better for you, right? Everybody, some people like the booking online, some people don't. So we give everybody choices.
Well, and I think one of the big reasons why is we're trying to lower friction, right? If we make the process simple for the viewer who's on our card to take the next step, whether that's to give us their information, to buy something from us, to book time with us, or to click our phone number and just call us up, we want to do it in a path that it's always one click away. Yep.
If it's just like, here's my information, you contact me about this, or here, I'm going to go ahead and, you know, like Brittany, book a class, or Bethany, I need to know this about my dog and it's an emergency, or whatever it is, right? I need to know more things, and here's the path that I want to take to do it. I
Yep.
love having choices. I don't like being locked into a box of like, either you give me your information or else we're not going to get together. I don't know about that, right? So I like choices. So what I did is, so we have Doug Demo's account, and we'll just use one of his cards. I'm not sure what else built in here that's really cards, but we'll just say we're a realtor, right? So we have our top realtor card, and Doug's going to go out and he's going to network. So he wants to add a Let's Connect button onto that card. So they're both built. I just took that Let's Connect page that I have built for my site, and I dumped it in here. I can give everybody that link if you guys want to just use the one I've built and change it for whatever y'all want. Now that I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and click on the edit. So you can see the Doug's card right now. Here he is. He's got all of his social media. Here's his newest listing. You can learn about his digital card. But what we're going to do is we're going to add a button that says Let's Connect. So we're going to come over to his links. And so to do this on mobile, under your link buttons, which is under the social number 4, all you do is add a button. Okay, so it's going to add it to the bottom. So if you're super like, oh, no, I need these in the specific order or whatever you want to do, right? If you were like, no, I want this one at the bottom, and I want this one to come here, that's fine, right? You can do that. But here we're going to do one that says Let's Connect. Right? And then we're going to put in the link. Oh, I should have grabbed that link first. Hold on. See, that's why I
This
didn't
is
think.
a good thing, right? There's not really a wrong way to do it. You know what I mean? You're going to put in a placeholder link. You've got the button there. Now Kathy's just going to go to the other card and she's going to go in and she's going to generate the link.
Right. So if I am just going to connect button to, or page to page, that's all I'm doing. When you click Let's Connect, I want you to go to this page, right? So say, see, this isn't going to make sense in this case.
Well, I think it can step people through, Kathy. Like a good scenario where you'd use this is you're not trying to have that intermediary pop-up come up at the top. You can see Kathy designed that page where after the pop-up gets closed, they're going to see that information, right? And this might be back to my card. So again, now Kathy's doing sort of a circular linking. One card links to the other links back.
There we go. I fixed it. It's going to make sense now.
Okay.
Okay, so I have 2 cards. My second card has my calendar on it. That one's right here. I went to this one, I hit preview, and this is the link right here that I'm going to take. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to go back to my digital card that I'm building, which is my realtor card. I'm going to edit it. I'm going to go back to social. I'm going to go down to where I put that placeholder, the Let's Connect, and I'm going to add that card link. Okay, so then when I step out of here, I hit save.
Yep.
Now, when I go to the preview, here's Doug, here's his social media, here's all about him, here's his newest listings, and here's his Let's Connect button. It's going to pop over to that second card, and it's going to say, here you go, here's my calendar, if you have Calendly or Let's Book Me or whatever all those are, and you can go ahead in here and book him. So we didn't have to make a lead capture. We didn't make a secondary pop-up. We didn't make tracking a campaign or anything. It just went from here's page 1 to here's page 2, book my calendar, and then here's my social media. So for me, this is just an extra way to get somebody to book, book right then, right? So you could actually have that on the front, where it says Let's Connect, just click here for my calendar. Right. So that's the nice thing. Again, like I was talking about to this gentleman who just joined this week, he was just like, it's so nice to be able to put on the card what I wanted to say. I'm not restricted to just choosing from a list of things. Yep. I can actually write the name of the button, or I can put in there what I want, or I can link whatever I want to it. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Okay. Okay. So then let's talk about, hold on, let me close all these or I'll get super confused at what I'm looking at. Okay, so then let's talk about putting the pop-up sandwich in between. So in this instance, Doug wants to know, or Doug wants to be able to send somebody his card. Here I'm a realtor. And then when they hit the Let's Connect, he wants to get their information. Maybe he's building his email list. Maybe he just wants to add them to his shuffle contacts, whatever it is, right? So what you have to do is on that thank you card, that's where the campaign and the lead capture is going to go, to ER's point. That's why you have to have these made before, so that once you sandwich them together, you're ready to put that pop-up in the middle, okay? So what we're going to do is on the thank you card, we're going to hit the buttons. We're going to create a campaign. And we're going to call this one, this is my
Connect
Let's
or something.
Connect on Realtor card. Okay, so I am going to track these, right? So I will know every time someone clicks on the Let's Connect, when I send them my card and they hit Let's Connect, I'm going to know that it's getting clicked on. Again, I just like to hear that bell. I think it's one of those things that's like, ooh, activity, ooh, activity. So to me, it's like the activities that I'm doing, the networking, the connecting, going out, meeting people, results in this ding, 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 ding of notifications. To me, it means it's working, right? If it's not dinging, I need to look at what I'm doing in my activities because I don't know that they're working. So I guess that's why I really like that. So I'm going to leave on individual. I'm going to turn off email because I don't like email. I'm going to leave on my notifications. If you guys like email, leave them on, up to you. And I'm going to include a lead capture. Now, very specifically, I'm going to make this one a pop-up. I do like optional pop-ups. This is not something where I'm giving away my 10 tips to be a billionaire. If you want that card, I'll have to send that to you later. But I do want them to, give me their information. That's kind of the whole point of this, but I'm going to leave it optional. So if they're like, what is this? And they close it and they see it and they're like, oh, it just is a connection thing. They can go back to it and refill it out. I don't like anyone to feel like they're locked into something. So share your info so we can connect. Again, I'm assuming this person wants to connect with me because we're exchanging business cards. So now we're just going to do a very quick lead capture form. So I want to know your first name and your last name. And I want to know what's your email. Oops, I always get that. What's your phone?
And on here, you'll see that Kathy does have an option to make these things mandatory, or they can submit the form without filling it out. So be aware of that as you're building these. If you have to have somebody's email address or you have to have somebody's phone number, you can always mark that as mandatory. Maybe at a minimum, I have to have their first name and I have to have their phone number. I would make sure those two are mandatory. So that way, if somebody does submit this form, it would prompt them if they failed to fill out that field, that in order to submit the form, the lead capture, that they would have to fill all of that out.
Okay, so then I just asked them, like, what's the best way? What's your favorite way to connect? And then on my personal one, I added another one that says, like, what are we connecting about? Are we connecting about like the 4 things that I do? This, or this, right? So I can show you that one too, but we'll leave this one easy. Again, here I want individual. I want to know every time this is filled out because that means I have a new lead captured in my Shuffle account. So when they fill this out, my phone's gonna ding again, ding, and I'm gonna be like, "Ooh, who's that? What's that?" Right? And I'm gonna see that it's a new lead from this campaign, and they're gonna go into my Shuffle contacts, and all the answers to their questions are gonna be right there in their contact. So I'm gonna leave on individual, and I'm not an email girl. Leave on my little push notification so I get the ding, and I hit create. Okay, here's the key. Now we're going to copy this link. This is the link that we're going to sandwich between the cards. Okay. So when I close this out, we come down to our realtor card. We hit edit. come back over to 4, and under my Let's Connect button this time, I'm going to delete that link, and I'm going to put in the campaign link. So now the campaign's going to know if somebody clicks this button, I'm supposed to pop up this questionnaire before I show that second page.
Exactly.
So now we're going to hit save. And we'll pop that open. And then you'll see our button didn't change, but what we linked to the button has changed. So now, again, I'm giving them the option. Do you want me to contact you instead of you figuring out a day on my calendar? Perfect. Put your name and email in here. Again, I'm capturing everybody that I've met, whether or not we ever get that face-to-face or connection done. I have you in my phone in case I need to find you again. It's gonna, once you fill this out, if you go in here and fill this out, again, it's gonna come into the account. It's gonna auto tag it for me and say it came in as a lead capture. And then I'm gonna have all the information that you wanted to share with me, name, email, phone. If you, the only thing that's mandatory you can see here is the first name. So if you don't want to give me your email because you're just like, hey, here's my number, text me. Perfect. That's all I needed to know, right? I have a way to connect with you. So that's what would come up. And then once they fill it out or close it, again, it's just going to say thank you. And I look forward to connecting with you. And if you'd rather go to my calendar link, it's right here. And here's my social media. I do also have the option. Let's go back. Let me show you so I can make sense for what I'm going to say. So you can see when you make these, and this doesn't matter if you're making these on the mobile builder or the advanced builder, you can have the option to open in a new tab. So you can see here, I still have Doug's card, right? I still have that card. And when I hit Let's Connect, it opened a new tab. So I haven't lost that card. I think that's even more important in mobile because people have your card and then they click on something. And if you don't have it open in a new page on your Safari or Chrome or whatever, they're like, wait a minute, where'd that guy's card go? Where'd the card? I had that. I was looking at it, right? So I highly suggest always having it open in a new tab. Now, again, when they're done and they have 12 buttons and they've clicked all the buttons, they may have 12 pages open, but they can go through and click each one of those. Yep. But I think having that option of going back to that original card is always important. Okay, so then I'm going to stop. Shh. Hi, Guy. Hi, everybody that joined us while I was talking. Does anybody have questions or anything they'd like to add or anything that they'd like to say? It was very quiet.
Everybody understands this. Kathy, one thing I'd like to show, you talked about opening in a new tab. Were there any questions out there? First and foremost, raise your hand in the reactions or put something in the chat here if you have a specific scenario. But Kathy, you talked about opening that card in a new tab. There's also a scenario like you may want to keep them in that same experience, but that might require linking the card back. And so one thing we could be doing is instead of the My Calendar button that Kathy has on this thank you page, she could actually copy the link from the start card from that primary card and put it in there and go back to my card. So that way, if somebody comes in to connect with you, they, it replaces one card with the other, it didn't open in a new tab. And then, they then come back through that same button, and it's sort of like a circular thing all in the same window. So the flexibility is there to do both. The question is what experience do you want your person to have who's viewing your card?
So I've done that before, especially if I'm using it as a microsite.
Exactly.
So if I'm building this and I'm not putting the whole share me and forward me, save me. So if I'm not putting anything to make it look like a digital business card and I'm simply making it look like a microsite, I will do that exact thing. Is I'll go in here. This happens to be on the advanced builder. It's just the one I had, so I just copied it. But I'll clone that. I'll add another button and I'll say, where is it? Return to home page.
There it is. Up.
There it is. Right, just like you would see on a website. and I would put the link, like he said, I would just link that back to that first card and hit save. And that way, when they go to that card, if it did just open and they've lost that first card, and you could do this either way. I mean, it doesn't have to just be on a microsite. You can do this anytime. But that way, if you go back, let's see. I'm going to close all these again. So we're going to start over so you guys can see. So I send somebody my card and let's connect. You've gone through there and you're like, oh, cool. Wait, I'm going to go back to that homepage. What was that thing that I was looking at first? It just circles you right back.
And then if you just go in and uncheck the box for both of those buttons that say open in a new tab, it would just keep it in one tab going back and forth.
And that's just, to me, it just makes sense to keep somebody kind of in that loop that you're trying to get them to figure out who you are and more about you. So even if they're like, wait, I'm right back to where I started. Oh, wait, there's that other button I wanted to push. Oh, I wanted information about this. Keep them interested in what they're, again, to me, that's the benefit of the shorter card with more options than the longer scrolling card that they never remember where they went back to and how to get back to that information.
Exactly.
Just a personal preference. Guy, do you have anything to add on this topic?
I do not.
I think a good example use case for this as well, Kathy, I know we talk about the connect with me. Let's say you have a card about who you are and what you do, and maybe there are your company that you represent or the brand you represent has a lot of different products, but you have like 3 or 4 that you love the best. You might say, here are the top 3 products, and you list them 1, 2, and 3, and you build an individual card for each one, and you're linking from your primary card to those and then back to your primary card. Again, just like a neat little microsite. So that person can, in essence, choose their own adventure as they go through your marketing material.
Absolutely. And I mean, again, typically you have like those things that you probably talked about when you're networking, or you picked up on if you're at the store or something, right? Or I can't remember who we were talking to last week. Who were we talking to last week about the pets?
Oh yeah, with holistic pet health food.
Right? Did she jump off? I can't see and talk at the same time. Is like you might have one that says dogs and cats, right? Because if I have a cat and I don't need to go through all the scrolling things on the dog thing, send me over to your cat page or send me to your lizard page or whatever it is, so that I don't have to waste my time not seeing the things I'm looking for, right? With Brittany, hey, are you want to connect with me, or are you just ready to book a class? Let's make this quick and simple, because nobody has extra time to waste. But if you're looking to book a class, I don't want to waste your time with all of my background of who I am and how I'm certified, because we probably just talked about that. So again, one quick card. This is like the perfect card, right? A picture, a quick, like, hey, it was great to meet you. What do you want to know about me? Here's your choices.
Short, sweet, and simple. They choose their own adventure, and then you're measuring all of that if you're using a campaign link in between each of those. Even if it doesn't pop up a form, I would recommend using those links.
Absolutely. Yeah, just use the link without a form, just so you know what buttons are getting pushed more often. Again, you're tracking and you're able to go like, wow, 90% of the people that I send my business card to go to the page on, booking me. I wonder why they're not going to the page on the about me. Obviously, that's not as important. So I need to make sure the book me is the first link, right? There's so many things that you can, if you do some just analysis and look back on, you'd know, what to put in front of people first.
So let's talk about that process or that flow, Kathy, because part of it is just thinking and sort of flushing out what you want to accomplish, what your goal is. So maybe stop share screen. I'll jump up here again, and we'll sort of go through this, because I think everybody's going to have a unique scenario to them. We talked about it. There's a benefit for having an endless scrolling page, but Kathy, to your point, I don't want to scroll through the dog stuff to get to the cat stuff. Once I start seeing dog stuff, I might maybe bounce or leave your page. I'd rather go to the top part and have a button that says dog and a button that says cat, and each one goes to each other one. And if I'm smart about it, I'm linking them together. So think about what your primary focus is.
We gotta
Maybe
get you darker markers, ER.
Say again?
We gotta get you darker markers.
I know, it's so bad. This may not work. I'll try and scoot up so you guys can see a little bit better.
There we go. Now we can see. At least we can see
Get
the
any better?
writing on there.
There is writing on there. Let me see. But so that's where I typically start out is, am I building some big scrolling section, or is it worth breaking it out? Am I starting with what my one card is and then deciding I need a second card to cover this topic? You know, so maybe this is me and this is topic 1 and this is topic 2. And again, you could do this ad nauseum, right? However many times you want to go through and create separate cards for. Obviously, the more cards you create, the more organized you're going to be or need to be in order to generate your campaign links to put on all the cards. So here I would have maybe 2 buttons, right? One that goes to topic 1, one that goes to topic 2. And then in order to put the right link on there, I'm going to need a campaign link for this card, and I'm going to need a campaign link for this card. And that's really what I'm putting in here, my campaign link for topic 1 and my campaign link for topic 2. Sorry, for my crude little shortness. And then if I didn't want the people to just arrive at that card, like have them click on that button and topic 1 opens up in a new tab, I would want to have at least a link coming back to me, which is this link, your me link on here, and maybe the me link on here. And now I've started to create a microsite. Also, if I was being proactive about it and keeping everything interconnected, I might want to put a second button on each of those, right? And so this one is topic 1, so I might have this be topic 2 and this be topic 1. And now it's a self-contained site, much like we had up here, where each of these pages connects, you know, to each other and all back, so that that the person can navigate everywhere. And then I've taken it from, oh my, they've got to be on one endless scrolling page. If I've got 10 things I really want to talk to somebody about, but number 10 at the bottom of the page is the most important thing to that person, I would rather that person be able to jump straight to that section, get rid of the noise of everything else, and consume what they want and take whatever action we want to take from that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anna said, can we take a picture of your whiteboard and share it? We absolutely can.
Sure, absolutely. I'll take one right now.
I think too is just coming up with the idea, right? I know that sometimes it's just like, oh, now that I've understood it, now I can play with it a little bit again. Just like we always say, you can't break it. I mean, put the link in there, send it to yourself. Did this link go where I wanted it to go? Did it pop up what I wanted it to? Do I want to leave chapter in here anywhere? To me, so in my perfect world, it would be page 1 about me, topic 1, topic 2, and then connect with me, right?
Yeah.
To me, there always has to be the option to connect with me.
Yeah.
That's 4 cards. That's your mini website. And again, I just took mine. I went to, go to whoever you want. I went to GoDaddy, $25, whatever it is for the year. I took that first card, linked it up to the URL. I just called GoDaddy, was like, can you make kathyinman.com go to ABC123, whatever the card is?
Yep.
And they were like, yeah, we sure can. And I was like, perfect. So I didn't have to do anything. And now that's just my easy way to go, like, hey, you're looking for me? Here's how to find me.
Yep.
Can I make a point here real quick?
Mhm.
For those of us that are visual learners, this is incredible, because what you are doing, first of all, thank you so much for recording this session. That's number 1. And number 2, when you do visuals on the whiteboard like that, Anna hit it right on the head. We got to see that process in our own minds to see how that's relevant to us. And then we apply it and we practice it. And guys, thank you so much for taking us through all of these particular steps, because you can see why this is quite a challenge for some people and it's so easy for others.
Well, thank you, Ruben, for that. And the functionality exists. So we want you guys to know about it so that you can leverage it. Because if you're not leveraging it, you're missing out on the benefit that that can bring to you and whoever you're sharing information with. So I always caution against, there's a time and a place for that sort of endless scrolling page catch-all thing. I think it was really hot some time ago. And I really feel like if you can get the right piece, you might send somebody directly to topic one when you meet them, and then they have a way to come back to your other stuff. So you still have these individual cards in your deck that you can share out individually, but if you structured them in the correct way, they create a navigation that allow that viewer to navigate through any one of your pages.
Absolutely. Again, the beauty of it, if I'm meeting you and I know like you just want to know more about polka dots in my networking group, that's the page, that's the card I send you, right? There's no point in going through the whole thing. Here's the card, here's where you sign up to be a guest. Done, right? Simple for them, simple for me. And if it's something like, hey, tell me more, I want to, I really want to connect and get to know you. Okay, well, here's my information, here's how to connect with me. Yeah, this is more of a technical. Anna says, can we put a slash after the domain and list each page so we don't need multiple domains?
Yeah, I get where you're coming from, Anna, on the domain forwarding. I'm not quite sure how your registrar, where you're registering domains, would allow you to do. I know what Kathy did, right? She has kathyinman.com, and she registered that on GoDaddy. And then all she did was ask them to forward that to her primary card me link. And so that's that process. If your registrar allows you to create sub pages on that domain and forward them to the other shuffle cards that you have, by all means, you could do that. But part of this is having something simple that you could tell people as a way to find you as well. I mean, just as much as Kathy could do the QR code, you know what I mean, for that card, or just paste out the URL that is the me link for that card to drive somebody in. Or she could program that card specifically to her tap card, right? That all goes, and those are all entry points to the primary card. Once you've got an entry point to the primary card, then it's choose your own adventure. I think, Anna, there may be a place where you want to use that technique to sort of beautify your shuffle URLs, because obviously if you're looking at the URLs, it's like app.lfi.com/vb/ some long string of digits that we use to track. But if your registrar allows you to redirect links on a subdomain or sub pages, you could totally do that.
Also, too, you can shorten that whole link. I use, is it bit.ly?
Yeah,
Bitly.
Bitly links as well.
Yeah,
You can
I
use
use that.
Bitly links as well if you want to shorten it.
Yeah.
Again, at the end of the day, it boils down to what are you trying to accomplish and what experience are you trying to create for the individual viewer that's your audience that you're putting the cards in front of.
Like Anna's, she said, I'm overthinking a simple process. I think that happens to the best of us.
The key here is KISS, right? We want to keep it super simple. You know what I mean?
I love
I
it.
did see Danon raised his hand here a second ago.
Yeah.
Why don't we
what's
hit
up,
that?
Danon?
And then Anna, I saw your hand go up as well. We want to make sure we get the questions answered.
Yes, my question is, hello, everybody. My question is, you can only track only the campaigns, or you could track any viewing of the card?
So when you think about your card links, you have a preview link. That preview link does not give you accurate tracking, right? So the other links that you have, and I'm going to get up here and sort of give you guys a little bit of overview of what all you have within Shuffle, so you have a better understanding. To Ruben's point, I'm a visual learner too. So when I create a card in Shuffle, okay, so this is my Shuffle card, I have a preview link, and I'm just going to call that PL. Okay, that's the one that we hit when we want to preview the card. We want to open it a bunch of times. We want to dial it in, but we don't want to screw up all of our tracking. It's sort of like I use the preview link when I'm testing a lot. Then you have two real links that you're using when you're sharing your card, okay? So that's what I would call like a share link. The first one is for a contact. Okay, that's when I know who I'm sharing this card with. Okay, but to Kathy's example, most of the time she doesn't know who, maybe going to kathyinman.com. So this is a unique link, and it's going to be unique to each contact. The link that I share Danon for my card will be different than the link that I share to Anna and different to the link I share to Kathy. Every link is completely different. That way I know when Danon opens it up, or if Kathy opens it up, or anybody else opens it up. Now, in a lot of what we do as marketers online, we may not be sending to a specific person. So these contact links are sort of irrelevant unless I'm out networking, giving it to a specific person or doing an email to a specific person. And I really want to know, did that person interact with my material? The other is the campaign. So you're really thinking about 1, 2, 3 types of links. One doesn't provide tracking, these two do, but they're unique in how you use them, okay? This one is going to a specific contact. I will tell you, I have seen people grab a contact link and then post it into social media, and they're like, oh my gosh, Danon just opened my card 10,000 times. No, you put a contact link in social media and a lot of people opened it up. That's why a campaign link is what you want to do and post when you're unsure of who will be viewing your card. You want the same type of tracking, you just know that you don't know who's going to be viewing it.
I'm gonna show you Dana's real quick while he's talking. So here's the difference too.
And you'll notice this when you're like opening up your cards or generating your links.
See here, I can see, because this is a campaign, kathyinman.com.
Yep.
Has a campaign, has a card that has a campaign. It doesn't have a lead capture. It just is a campaign link. So when I called GoDaddy and was like, hey, can you make kathyinman.com redirect, that's the word, to blah, 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 ABC123 / whatever it is, whatever that whole link is, it was a campaign link equals blah, 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 right? So it was the campaign to that card. So I know someone viewed my card. So this is, all the time, bleep, 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 bleep. Now, you're on my card and you clicked Let's Connect, which has a campaign and a lead capture. You can see here, that's different. I know that not only did someone just view my card, they also went to the Let's Connect button. So two different two different campaigns, one with a lead capture, one without.
And then that third sort of item that we just went through is actually, if you look at the very bottom of Kathy's alerts here, you'll see this. Ruben, welcome to my network card opened up. Again, so you're getting or generating all of these feedback data loops to you based on the links that you're using. So the more sophisticated you can become in educating yourself on how to use the right link at the right time and how easy it is to generate those links, the more valuable data you'll collect, as Kathy's showing here, to give you informed insight on what is going on.
Right. So I have two. So I also have Digital Card Pro. So I know if somebody clicked on Kathy Inman, I know if they clicked on Digital Card Pro, if they went to a different website, whatever I have, anything that I'm tracking, a card that I put on Insiders. Here's a lead capture. Here you go. Here, we did one the other day when we were practicing. I know that where it came from. Up here, I know that the Clubhouse campaign is on my Instagram. I put a link there. I mean, I just know everything that's going on and who's, not who, but what's getting clicked on and where am I getting leads in from.
Does that help you, Damien?
Yes, but that's on the advanced on the advanced, right?
Your campaigns and your contact links are going to be in both areas, in your mobile built cards and in your advanced built cards. It happens underneath the card. In fact, Kathy, if you can jump back to sharing your desktop screen,
Mhm.
we saw both types of cards there. When you're looking at all of your cards, you'll see those little 3 ellipses next to every one of those cards. And if you click on those 3 little ellipses, the dots there, you'll see the campaign section. And it doesn't matter whether this is a mobile card where you built it using the mobile builder or whether you built it using the desktop builder, like the new card, that thank you card that Kathy created. Both will have that campaign thing. Both will have a way to, again, if you hit the share card, Kathy, on this one as well, it would have a way for you to share to an existing contact or hit the little plus sign and create a new contact. So you've got a way to generate the contact link and you've got a way to generate the campaign link.
No, I was just saying the tracking is a little more in depth on on the mobile app than the advanced, right?
Yes, because those templates are fixed on the mobile, we can actually give you a little bit more insight on not just the open and the views, but some of the clicks as well. Did they click on a button? Did they click play a video, etc.?
But that's what I was asking at first. Do that have to be a campaign in order for you to get the analytics of the?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
As long as it's a personal, it can be under the contact as well. You're not going to get that clicking stuff in the preview link. That's the key. So I see that happen as a mistake all the time where people are like, I'm sending out my link, but they're just sending out their preview link. You know, that'll help you get your card out quick, but you're not going to get the feedback loop of the analytics. You have to use a contact link or a campaign link if you want that trackability. And Dana, to your point, if you're doing that for a mobile built card, you'll get deeper insight on actually what's being clicked as well.
Okay, yeah, because I was wondering, I was wondering why some cards got more information than the other one. Yeah, I see. You just answered it when you said it's a preview. The preview card don't get as much tracking as the. Okay, I think.
Yeah, of course. Anna, I know you've had your hand up for a bit. Go on ahead.
Okay, well, I started running with Zapier today, just trying to connect everything to my Zoho, and it asked me for API details in order to be able to connect the two. I have no idea where I find those, and do I need a different API for each card?
I will have to dig into that specifically for your case and get with you on that. I know we have the Zapier integration. I have not done a lot of zaps between multiple apps using our app within there. So I'll have to reach out to somebody on the engineering side of our development team for a little bit more direction.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You can see on the screen that Kathy has up where we do have Zapier integration. You can click on this and then it will generate the token for Zapier. And then it's a matter of whether that other thing supports that. So Anna, I don't know if it's more than just generating that Zapier token, which might be the API link. If you've gone into there, that's under your profile in your desktop account.
Okay.
And I see you writing that down. Again, if you're looking at the screen, Kathy's clicked on Doug Demo's name. She's clicked on where it says My Account. And all the way on the left-hand side, you'll see Zapier integration.
Okay.
And then there is some Zapier setup instructions there, how to set up the Zapier integration. And there is that token that you'll probably need. And I'm assuming that's the API request that they're asking for.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause I don't think it's per card. I think it's for your contacts.
No, yeah, it's just for what you're trying to use your Shuffle, because you connect Shuffle as a whole to whatever you're connecting it to. So Zoho or MailChimp or Google Contacts, etc.
Right. Right.
Yep.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Great.
And I apologize, but I have a customer that's called me 3 times now. I got,
You better go get that. Good luck, Anna.
No worries.
glad
no
to be
worries.
here. Thank you so much. And thank you for recording this.
Absolutely. We'll have it up here soon. Does anybody else have any questions? We got about 8 more minutes. Happy to, so we can talk about linking cards, or we'll open it up for any Q&A. Everybody's so quiet. Look at ER. Everybody knows everything. We're so good.
I love it.
I know. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording. Maybe then everybody will have questions.